Hey guys, it's Chad here. Hope everybody's doing well and having a good week. I wanted this to be a little bit of a different video. You can see with the title it says it's time to be honest and come clean about some things. I've just been really struggling with some things about this YouTube journey, and I kind of wanted to take it down a notch and not focus so much on the editing and the making it such a high quality video. I just want to speak to you directly and just have a honest video with you all. So over the past few weeks, I've been really struggling with the idea of uploading on YouTube. I think I talked about this a little bit in my video on why I became a missionary, but by nature I've always been kind of a private guy. This thing about uploading on YouTube and social media is very out of character for me, because I would very much prefer to kind of just be offline, to be honest. I've just been really struggling lately with self-doubt and second-guessing myself and insecurities, because that takes me all the way back to being a kid, honestly. It's something that I've always struggled with, about what I look like, what I sound like, what other people think about me. And putting it out there on YouTube for the whole world to see makes it even more difficult in a way. There's been a few times over the last couple weeks where I really thought about just stopping doing this, because I think it'd be a lot easier for me. But I believe that by doing that, and I've really noticed this the last week or two, I'm really cold if you couldn't tell, but I believe that if I went offline and shut down everything and quit uploading, that I'd be disobedient to God, because I believe that He wanted me to learn these gifts for a reason. I've really been thinking a lot about the parable of the talents in the Bible. I think it's in Matthew chapter 25, and I'd like to take a moment to read some of that. Starting in verse 14, I'm reading out of the ESV version. "For it will be like a man going on a journey, who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now after a long time the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little, I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And he also who had the 2 talents came forward, saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little, I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. He also who had received the 1 talent came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But his master answered him, You wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was mine with interest. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." So I believe that God brought that parable to my attention, because I believe that if I take the opportunity and the talent that He gave me and buried it in the ground and didn't use it, that I would be just like that disobedient servant who chose not to use what God had given him. And I've also been thinking about my own discomfort, like what is discomfort in comparison to eternity? One of the goals of my channel was I wanted to help draw people to the Lord and help share the good news of the gospel. And if I shut it down just because of my own insecurities, what kind of message does that send? That sends a message that the enemy is won, and that I care more about what the world thinks of me than what Christ has thought of me. And I don't want to be that way, and it's kind of woken me up that who really cares at the end of the day what people think about me? Because am I trying to grow my platform? Am I trying to grow God's platform? And God should be the platform that we're trying to build, the platform of Jesus, not my own. And if I can help even draw some people to the Lord, or get some people interested in the gospel, then I see that as a win in my book. One of the characters that I've actually most related to in the Bible is actually Moses. And that may surprise some of you, but there's a good reason for it. Moses was handpicked and chosen by God to go out and be the voice of His liberation, to lead the Israelites out of captivity. And Moses always felt very unworthy and not eloquent enough to do what God has called him to do. And that's really been the story of my life the last couple of years, even on the mission field. I don't want this to sound arrogant in any way, or like like I'm better than anybody else, but I believe that God chose me for some reason to go out and to be a missionary the last 2 years, to spread the good news and to train pastors in church planting and in the gospel in some of the hardest to reach areas of the world. And that's what I've been doing the last 2 years. And I feel like I've grown and matured more in the last 3 years than I have my entire life. Spending a year in the hospital as a chaplain and 2 years on the mission field in 10 different countries will do that to you pretty quick. It'll mature you pretty quick. Every time when I'm about to get out there and speak in front of hundreds of pastors and church leaders, I feel unworthy and I feel inadequate. And I look around me at the pastors around me who are a lot better speakers than me, and I'm like, how did I get here? Why did God choose me to do this? But I feel very blessed and amazed that He did choose me to do it, because it's fulfilled a dream of mine to go out and to be used for His glory in some of the hardest to reach areas of the world. I've always, since I was a little boy, wanted to go on grand adventures for the Lord, and I believe that He's fulfilled that desire of mine the last 2 years. Even though it's been really hard and there's been very big challenges that I've had to face, a lot of financial difficulties, I believe that it's been worth it, because I knew that if I didn't do this, that I would always live with that regret, and I didn't want to live with that regret. So if God can use a person like Moses and a person like David, who slew a giant with a slingshot, a young shepherd boy, and a young girl named Esther who saved her people from certain destruction, then why can't He use me? Why can't He use you? My favorite stories in the Bible are the stories where God used ordinary people who had no special gifts, and empower them to do amazing, extraordinary things. And I don't know where this channel is going. I don't know if God will blow it up and use it to be a big influence, but I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to keep doing what God has told me to do and keep uploading on this YouTube channel, because I believe if I didn't, I'd be disobedient. I just wanted to share that with you all, that I've been struggling lately, but I think I'm coming out of that struggle. And yeah, I'm happy to have you along on this journey with me. And I know we're close to the end of the year. There's a lot of people with their families, and I just want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And thank you for being on this journey and mission mindset with me. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, if you like the more sit-down conversational content, let me know, and I can try to do more of that in the future. Please subscribe and join the channel here at Mission Mindset if you like this content. I'd be happy to have you be part of this journey and this community that we're building. So God bless you all. Happy New Year, and thank you for watching.